So yeah, the NS400 is coming, but which engine will it use? The Dominar 400 engine, the old KTM 390 engine, or the new KTM 390 engine, which is the 393cc engine based on the new platform. So stay tuned, we're going to dive into that.
Pulsar has never been a static target.
It's a boy! It's a boy! It's a boy! It's a boy!
Hey guys, and welcome to another video. These are my two Pulsars, and today we are going to talk about the biggest Pulsar yet. I've been following the Pulsar brand since 2013, so I think I know a thing or two about what's happened, what is going to happen, and what might happen in the future. So stay tuned. Today we're going to take my Pulsar RS400 to work. I love this bike. So yes, the new Pulsar is supposed to come on the 3rd of May. I am making this video to come slightly before that. I have some predictions, I have some expectations from Bajaj, from the brand Pulsar. So I'm going to put them down in this video. Prediction number 1. Right now, if Bajaj wants to make the NS400, they have primarily 3 engines to play with. You can argue that it's 2, but I would say 3 engines. One is the Dominar 400 engine, in that state of tune, the cruiser state of tune. One is the old KTM 390 engine, which is the 373cc engine. And one is the KTM 390, the new 390 engine, which is 400cc, it's gone up in cc. So they have these 3 engines to play with. Now, which engine Bajaj chooses remains to be seen. I'm very, very interested to see what engine they choose, because that will determine a lot of things. If they go with the Bajaj Dominar engine, I don't think that engine is going to rev a lot. It's going to be, top end power like the RS and the NS were. If they choose the old KTM engine, well, it's a good enough engine, it's reliable. They might remove the DOHC setup maybe. And if they go with the new 390 engine, well, then we are in luck, because the new 390 engine is a brand new platform which came out last year. So it's a pretty damn good platform to start with. Another thing that the NS400 will have is less power. I think Bajaj will aim to give the NS400 at least 40 bhp and not more. Even if it uses the new KTM 390 engine, 40 bhp, and they'll cap it there, because they'll not want to cannibalize the KTM. A lot of people, they pit the Pulsar against the KTM, but they don't understand that Bajaj is making both of them, and Bajaj is making a higher profit by selling KTM. So they'll let the KTMs be at 43, 44, 45 bhp, whatever it is, and they'll let the Pulsars be at 40 bhp, so that there is some differentiation between the two. But obviously the cycle parts of the Pulsar will be cheaper, it will be easier to maintain. And what happens is, even with the RS200, the RS200 and the NS200 borrowed the engine from the KTM Duke 200, but it lost the DOHC setup, it lost some of the compression ratio, and what you end up with is a engine that runs cooler and more efficient. And I think that's what Pulsar 400 is going to be all about. They'll reduce the compression from the Duke 390 engine. Maybe DOHC might not be there, or maybe it might be there, I don't know, but basically they'll tune it for better fuel efficiency and reliability.
Hey guys, before we go ahead with the video, quick analysis of the last 2 spy shots that I've spotted on Instagram. The front end of the bike, still the head looks a lot like the NS. It looks a little longer, but the styling of the headlamp looks like it's inspired by Megatron from the Transformers movie. The other spy shot the tank looks like it's reprofiled a little bit. The place where your legs would fit is reprofiled a little bit. The swing arm is a box section unit, and obviously we have USD forks in the front. The rims look like they're the same, and this red color, I think it's a throwback to the original NS200 that was launched about 14 years ago.
भाई कैमरा अमूद की वीडियो तो लो, तुम्हारे चैनल पे बंदा
चैनल का नाम जेरेमी डिसूजा है.
तुम डालो ना भाई. कैमरा तो चालू करो, हमारी वीडियो तो लो.
कैमरा चालू है.
हाँ तो हमारी वीडियो लो. कभी छोड़ेंगे भाई हम लोग की वीडियो.
हाँ
हाँ कभी छोड़ेंगे हम लोग.
अभी 3 तारीख के पहले आएगा.
3 तारीख को झंडा भाई चैनल पे. थैंक यू भाई.
थैंक यू.
करो भाई को लाइक.
हाँ राइट सेफ.
So we're back in this format, not motovlogging format now. Talking about the features and the price. Features. Whatever the NS200 and the N250 have got over the last 1 year, those features will definitely make it to the NS400. I have no doubt. That is the USD forks, the digital console, LED lighting, slipper clutch. The traction control system remains to be seen what kind of traction control system we see, because what the N250 has right now is a very, very analog style traction control system. It relies on a lot of things other than ride-by-wire. But if this gets ride-by-wire, it will open a whole lot of other features, whether it's cornering ABS, proper traction control, and it will have power modes, you know. So 40 bhp bike, it can come down to 35, it can come down to 30 if required, urban terrain. Pricing wise, this motorcycle has to undercut 3 motorcycles. That is the Duke 390, the Triumph 400s, both the 400s, and the Dominar 400 as well. And if it undercuts the Dominar 400 by even 20,000, 10,000, that's saying a lot, because it's going to be very competitive in pricing. Now, if it's competitive in pricing, that means Bajaj has this way that they use the same cycle parts. So with the NS, you have the NS200, you have the NS160, you have the NS125. The same tank is being used. The same frame is being used. So they try to cut costs there. Now, that could be the case. And if that is the case, then the bike will look very similar. And if it's anything to go by these renders that have come out on Rush Lane, then it looks like a cousin of the N250 and not the NS, which is slightly disappointing, because the N250's design doesn't really hold that Pulsar, that Pulsar brand very well. The NS does, the NS, the RS, the 220 of course. So yeah. So my final point is, it's going to be very interesting to see how 40 bhp is delivered on a Pulsar with a perimeter frame, because that has never been done before. The most power we've seen on a perimeter frame is 40 bhp, but from the Dominar, which is a very, very lazy motorcycle and a heavy motorcycle. And then after that, you obviously have the NS and the RS. So 40 bhp perimeter frame, they will have to tweak the frame a little bit. It's going to be very, very interesting, because remember, the perimeter frame is a frame that is used on motorcycles like the Kawasaki Ninja ZX 10R. It's used on the R1 and the R6, I think even. So it's a very, very capable frame. They will have to tweak it a little bit, but it's going to be a firecracker in the segment. Because the Pulsars do have linear power delivery. They're not as aggressive as the KTMs, but definitely not as lazy as the Dominar. So I can't wait to see how this is delivered.
So as we wait for the new Pulsar NS400, it's time for definitely male. It's time to be dressed to thrill. It's time for the biggest Pulsar yet. That's all for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Ride safe, ride hard, and always wear your helmet.